So you're saying, the most powerful weapon on Earth isn't something we build, it's something we carry. So history isn't only decided by armies. So sometimes panic isn't a weak brain, it's just an untrained one. Everyone is watching the weapons, the jets, the missiles, the satellites waiting silently above us, but nobody is watching the place where every war actually begins. Not on a battlefield, not inside a machine, inside 3 pounds of tissue behind someone's eyes. Because before a missile moves, before a soldier pulls a trigger, a human brain makes a decision. Tonight, we enter the battlefield nobody can see. Colonel, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Zakki. But I should warn you, this isn't the military conversation people usually expect.
Good, because everyone studies the weapon, the aircraft, the technology, but you spent your career studying something invisible, the person controlling it. Why?
Because machines don't create conflict, humans do. A missile has no anger, no fear, no ambition. It's just metal. The real weapon is the mind that decides where that metal goes.
So you're saying, the most powerful weapon on Earth isn't something we build, it's something we carry.
Exactly. The brain is the weapon. Everything else is just the hand it's holding.
That's terrifying, but also strangely beautiful.
Because the same brain that can create destruction can also create healing.
When the world watches a crisis, 2 countries on the edge, everyone watching the news, what are we actually seeing?
Only the surface. We see ships, weapons, statements, but the real battle happens inside human minds. A few people under extreme pressure, trying to make decisions while fighting fear, uncertainty, and the possibility of being wrong.
So history isn't only decided by armies. Sometimes it's decided by someone's ability to stay calm.
Exactly. The Cuban Missile Crisis is the perfect example. The world came dangerously close to disaster, but the outcome wasn't decided only by missiles. It was decided by people in a room, processing fear, pressure, and responsibility.
So millions of lives were waiting for a few human brains to control their emotions.
Yes, and that's something people forget. We cannot read someone's mind, but we understand the patterns: fear, ego, the need to appear strong, the fear of losing control. Those things are universal.
We often look at history through leaders and nations. But every decision, every command, every moment of courage begins inside one human brain. So let's look closer. Let's bring this down to one person. Why does a trained soldier react differently from someone who has never faced danger?
Because soldiers are not fearless. That's a myth. They feel fear exactly like everyone else. The difference is, they learn how to operate while fear is present.
So courage isn't the absence of fear.
No. Courage is making the right decision while fear is screaming at you to stop.
What happens inside the brain during that moment?
The amygdala acts like an alarm system. It detects danger and prepares the body to survive. But under extreme stress, the thinking part of the brain can become overwhelmed. That's why people freeze. That's why panic happens. Training changes that. It teaches the brain, I have been here before. I know what comes next.
So training doesn't remove fear.
No, fear stays. You simply stop letting it control you.
But this isn't only a military story. Every person faces fear, pressure, and uncertainty. The question is, can an ordinary brain learn the same control? Can this happen outside the military, for normal people?
Absolutely. Take someone afraid of snakes. A person with no experience sees a snake, and their brain immediately screams, danger. Now take a scientist who studies snakes. Same animal, same situation, different reaction. Why? Because experience changed the brain's response.
Neuroplasticity.
Exactly. The brain is not fixed. It changes based on what we repeatedly experience. A firefighter entering smoke, a surgeon during a critical operation, a soldier entering danger. Different situations, same principle. The brain learns what to fear and what it can handle.
So sometimes panic isn't a weak brain, it's just an untrained one.
Exactly.
If the brain can be trained to change fear, then it can also be trained to change beliefs. And sometimes, Beliefs become the first battlefield. Before a physical war begins, does a psychological war happen first?
Almost always. Before weapons move, beliefs move. Every side wants to appear stronger, more confident, more prepared. Because humans don't only react to reality, they react to the reality they believe.
So perception itself becomes a battlefield.
Yes, two people can see the same situation and create two completely different realities. Belief changes behavior, and behavior changes history.
We've talked about how the brain controls conflict, but after everything we've discovered, one question remains. What kind of future are we teaching the brain to create? Colonel, after everything you've studied, is the human brain dangerous?
I think it's the most dangerous and the most beautiful thing that exists.
How can it be both?
Because the same brain that designs weapons designs vaccines. The same brain that creates conflict creates music, creates compassion, creates peace. The brain itself is not good or evil. It is shaped by what we value.
So maybe the thing we should fear isn't the brain.
It's what we teach it to want.
Maybe the greatest battle was never outside us. Maybe it was always the one happening quietly inside the human mind. We started tonight searching for the real battlefield. We looked for it in the sky, in weapons, in borders, but we found something smaller and far more powerful. We found it behind human eyes. Every decision, every fear, every act of kindness, every war begins in the same place, the human mind.
We spend billions protecting the world outside us, but we spend far less learning how to protect the world inside us.
Maybe the greatest defense humanity can build isn't another weapon. It's a better understanding of ourselves. The future will not only depend on the weapons we create, it will depend on the minds that control them.